Good everyone, I'm AzureBlaze, and welcome to another title updates and impressions video on Reforj's new update. Title update 8, this is fun. I'm enjoying this. Title update 8 is out now, which is very exciting. It comes with a whole bunch of new things, however, the first one, the obvious one, the very big one is the game looks different. There's been a whole bunch of new visual overhauls to everything, and I must say I am very happy with the result from what I've seen thus far. I haven't actually looked at it in my actual world yet, however, I will get there at one point. Otherwise, though, yeah, no, it looks absolutely amazing. And I've only now realized that I've managed to mess up the path. Oh well, it's okay. Very excited though. Yeah, I've been setting up this little world to show everything off. Yeah, biggest thing though, obviously, new visuals. Very exciting. Here's a look at some things. I mean, I don't know if all of them have changed. However, this isn't everything either. However, a lot of things have changed. Obviously, the character designs have changed a fair bit as well, which is always good. They look really good now. They look very much like Reforj has it's like a massive actually, how am I trying to explain this? Reforj has its own identity. it furthers Reforj's identity. That's what I'm trying to say. Not that it didn't have an identity before. This helps give it more of an identity, and I really like it at the moment. Let's get into the actual new features and stuff though. Obviously, Rixels. Everything's been redesigned using Rixels. I could try to describe it. However, they've described it fairly well on their one of their videos, and I messed this up something chronic. Oh well. I don't know how I managed to do that. This should be one over, yeah. To the left. Oh well, that's alright. Rixels, instead of using pixels, they use rounded shapes and stuff like that, or shapes in general, which means everything looks really nice when you get close to it, and it's pixel art, however shaped pixel art. It looks really nice. Everything's been updated. Well, not everything. 98% of things I think have been updated. I don't think everything's been updated. I feel like I've seen some things gone, they are the same. However, I might be wrong. Maybe everything has got a bit of a redesign. And the player character has had a redesign as well. All mobs have been updated to the Rixel art style. Let's see if I can find, if I go into creative quickly. Let's see if I can find fly. Thank you. I was going to say I'll find some kiwi. Here's a kiwi. It looks very adorable now. I adore the feathers look. I don't know. This looks way better. Oh, I mean, not that it didn't look good before. But, this looks really nice. And here's a skimmer. They look adorable as well. I like all the big eyes on everything now. They're simply... I mean, they already have big eyes. However, they have bigger eyes now. They look adorable. I really like it. I like that everything emotes and stuff like that. And I thought I turned off the day cycle. Apparently not. Okay, there we go. It looks really nice. I really like the look of everything. Some of the visual effects now use Rixel shapes as well, which is nice. And there's a new element mining effect, which looks really good. If I go down here for a minute and then grab some dirt, and then I start mining it, I don't even know how to describe it. Dissolves away, and I think that looks really nice. Even the normal the placing and the destruction animation for the character look really good. I really like this overhaul. That's on the Rixel sizes. For visual effects and lighting in general, there has been an explosion overhaul. Let's go to blaster mode, fire it up. It looks a bit different, the explosion and everything like that. Looks really good, very fast, very snappy. I really like how the boom blocks look as well now. I thought before they looked a little bit strangely unfinished texturing wise. However, now they look really good. Very happy with that. I'm gonna turn my HUD on. I was gonna be oh, can I do this whole time without my HUD on? Haven't I? Okay, there we go. Looks good. And it looks really nice. And then added close distance visibility lighting when in dark environments. Let's see if I can find something. It's sort of I don't really know how to explain it either. I know what it's talking about. Look at these. Look at the way the surface looks and everything. It looks really nice. Basically, if you're really close to something in a dark environment, it looks a bit clearer. That's what I'm getting out of that. There's stars in the night sky now, which means I now have to go and change the time of day. Yeah, they added stars to the night sky, which is very nice. There we go. We got some stars and everything. Makes the sky look really nice. And the lighting looks really good now. Yeah, let's switch this back. They added biome-dependent atmospheric fog. I don't know if I have anything around here that I can really show with it. However, some biomes literally have, like, a fog in them now. They're like... yeah, I don't know. There's, like, the edge fog here. Like, some biomes have, like, different colored fog to, like, better represent the biome that they're in, which is really nice. Added new watercolors. I mean, I couldn't really tell a difference straight away. I suppose if I look at them next to each other, that would look... I could probably see it over here. Lighting, fog, clouds, and watercolor are now affected by the time of day and biomes, which is really good. Plants now cast shadows, which is very fun. Here they are. Look at that. They cast shadows. Very nice. I like that. Yeah, I like it a lot. I like how they cast shadows. Yeah, here's a better look at them. They're darker around the outside. They're not like specific shadows depending on lighting. However, like they have shadows nonetheless, which is very nice in general. We've added the visual effects to gold ore now. It's like sparkly. I think that's great. It gives it a little bit more extra to look at, I guess. I don't know. Let's go here. They've added visual effects for eating. Let's see if I switch to this mode. There's like, I don't know, you can't really see it on this one. If you look at it in first person, you can see like little bits going off it. Looks good. Yeah, and then added splashing, which is really fun. Sploosh. there's like a proper water effect now for splashing and stuff, and I think it looks really good, personally. And then they added bloom, I believe, as well. You added bloom and glow to emissive elements like this. Very, very glowy now. I think this is much better than what it was, considering before it was actually kind of hard to tell if the lumenstone was on or off and stuff like that. This is lumenstone as well. The lumenstones had like a simpler redesign, and I think it looks very nice. To be honest, I think it's good to have it like that. Yeah, let's change the time of day back. And that's all like the lighting and visual effects, and a whole bunch done. Very, very exciting. Yeah, all the character and mob animations have been updated as well, as we've seen, and then there's facial animations on the character, like he'll blink and stuff like that, which is good. Yeah, as for whole new features though, this is the gateway terminal, and this is probably the most exciting feature that they have added thus far. Basically, it allows you to go into, I guess, subworlds, is the best way to put it. Yeah, these gateway terminals, you can make them. I forgot to put down the ability to show how to make them. Let's go to... Do I have a crafting table around? I literally forgot to put it down. I can't believe that. Crafting table, not a crafting table, a workbench. Seriously? Did I probably missed one a second ago. Let's go back over to here quickly. Because I'm pretty sure there's someone this one. There we go. Oh, I don't even make it in the workbench. I make it in the forge now, is how it's done. Therefore, let's skip ahead quickly. I think it's the forge? No, it's the... I can't believe I was meant to put this down. The fabricator. You can make it in the fabricator. It's made with 50 ore, noble glass, silicon, and steel ingot. That's not necessarily too difficult of a recipe, which is good. I mean, yeah, that's great. Yeah, however, like you can create whole worlds to go to, and that definitely helps with things like updates and stuff. Like, especially with my world, which was created in 2U5, it may not get some things like the new trees or stuff like that, and like. Now that like these are here, I can like go explore and get that sort of stuff. Very nice, and it means I can stop using the trees in my world because I think they look nice and make a whole new world simply to go back gather trees, which is always good as well. You activate them using aura torches, and they can only be at one active at a time. Essentially, there we go. And if I look into it, it has the same thing. Yeah, this one can't be worked now, and they can only break as well if they're unactivated. They cannot break if they're activated, even in creative, which is. Probably a good thing, to be honest. Yeah, no. Let's head into one, though. Very excited. And look at the bloom on those torches. I think they look really good as well. Yeah, it functions by depositing ore into the gateway terminal. It's subject to change in future updates, though. And they've as well added 4 new gatekeeper structures. I will show one of them off in a minute because it took me forever to find it, and I can't bother going to find the other ones. And and they added the ability to teleport other players in creative mode, which is good as well. Another thing they've added is the warp stone, which is this thing. I mean, this is the gateway area. This is the terminal. However, this is the gateway area. I believe in new worlds you spawn next to one, or at least close to one, which is really good as well. This is the warp stone. It allows you to warp between gatekeeper structures and stuff. Only the new ones, not the old ones. I went through a whole bunch of different things. Here's one of the new ones, though, that I went and found. It took me forever to find this. However, yeah, you activate the warp stone by standing on it in one of these structures, and it will allow you to take you back to the gate, which is the gateway terminal, which is really good. Here's one of the new ones. They're kind of neat, the new ones. They don't really, like... They look like they're very destroyed and stuff. However, this one has, like, magstone and refined magstone and relic stone and all that sort of thing with it, which is... I don't know, I think it's great. As far as I'm aware, you can't break the warp stone at all, which makes a lot of sense. There was specific things, however, yeah. Yeah, and then they allow you to teleport back to here. You activate them there, and then you can teleport between it any time, which is like a fun little like checkpoint system, I guess. There's only 3 at the moment for the gates. That's what they put down, I guess. Yeah, and they're hidden in the 4 new gatekeeper structures. Uncover each one to reactivate them and teleport back to the gateway. It's good. As for some world generation stuff, trees have been redesigned yet again. I mean, they look good. I don't have much else to say about them. I really like the new textures and stuff. I was a little bit on the fence about the new wood textures to start with. I thought they looked a little bit too realistic. However, seeing them in person, no, I think they're good. I think they're really good, actually. I really, really like them. Which one is this one specifically? Hearthwood. I'm going to have to remember which one's which now. Yeah. that's the tree stuff there. There's some rocks that generate in certain biomes now. Like this, I'm assuming. There we go. Perfect. Specifically, plants can spawn in clusters as well. Like this, you can see they're like in little clusters around each other, which is good as well. And then they've added moss, which I've put a little tower over here to show. In the jungles, they've added moss to the floors, which is instead of grass, which is really neat. Another thing that probably won't be apparent in my world that I can only sort of get in these worlds. Yeah, moss. Moss is now the floor of the jungles. I think it looks pretty nice. I feel like, I mean, it is a jungle, therefore it makes sense. However, like, this skirts the line of being a little bit visually noisy for my taste. However, I think for the most part it looks pretty good. Although this tree texture is a little bit, the sapwood. Oh, it's the main wood. Okay, that's kind of, yeah, okay. I feel like this is a little bit of a repetitive texture. It kind of like, it looks like flannel clothes almost to me. That's probably the only tree texture I'm not the biggest fan of. However, on the other ones, yeah, they all look pretty good. Yeah, very, very, very good. I'm very happy with that. Obviously, the next thing is you can now hold up on the D-pad to switch to face cam. Very good. I kind of wish the camera went out a little bit further. However, yeah, no, it's good to have and fun little thing for me to do in videos. There's been some audio changes. There's a unique sound effect when sculpting elements of different types, which is always fun. Let's grab one of these. And I don't know if we'll be able to hear it or not. I'm not 100% sure, however... oh, I need to get some stone as well. Let's go like this. We go like this. And this. Yeah, it does sound different. There you go. Which is good. And elements now have the appropriate sound effects when walked on as well. Therefore, like, let's walk on this. It's a very crunchy dirt sound, and then if I walk on the stone, it's a lot more stone sounding, I guess. Anyway, let's head back to the main world, the main update world. These are going to be fun for different things. Okay, let's head back to the main update world. And then we'll talk about another whole bunch of additions that have been added in the form of blocks and stuff like that. Oh, that kind of small me in a strange place. Oh, this is where I was going to do my face cam. This is my stage. I ended up doing it there though. XOR blocks, a new circuit, which is really good. XOR blocks. Previously we had OR and AND blocks, and having all the different things that go into it, and or having like specific, you could have any of them go into it, which is fun. XOR blocks, kind of, they're a bit different again. They changed the beam signal depending on I'm going to have to do another circuit reforge thing for this. They changed the beam signal depending on how many are in it, by odd or even. Basically, at the moment I've got 3 different ones on in it, therefore it's putting out a full beam signal, large green. However, if I change it to an even number, it puts out a thin beam signal. There's only 2 going into it at full beam and 1 going into thin. However, if I change it back to 1 beam, which is an odd number, it'll go back to full. If I change it to 2, which is an even number, it'll go to, yeah, to the small one. And then 3, which is an odd, full beam again. Really, really fun. Buttons have been added as well, which is good. More temporary things as opposed to the switches, which are always on and off. Always fun. I'm definitely going to have to do add to my little circuit thing as well. They've added some new elements, which is really good. Moss, which we've previously covered already. They've added color glass, which is very fun, and it looks really nice, not going to lie. Then they've added ornate tiles, which is what the ground for this and everything else has been made out of at the moment, because I really like it. It's kind of like how terracotta is in Minecraft, the glazed terracotta. They added these 4 colors: blue, viridian, ochre. I don't know how you ever say it. Is it ochre or ochre? I don't even know. Ochre and then scarlet ornate tiles. Very, very, very good. I'm very excited. And then, of course, the gateway terminal's been added as well. Moving on. There's been some updates, improvements, and changes. Updated features. When loading a new world, you now spawn near a gateway, as I said earlier. Fast flying while building now locks you in the direction of travel, which is very good. I really like this. If I go like this, I can go sideways in fast flying. Makes building really quick. Like, I can even go up very fast. I really like that, and it was really good to be able to build different things with that while I was doing everything. Okay, let's break all this away. Anyway. Aura Campfire is now pastime in multiplayer games, which is good. Picking a plant now gives you the seed. If you use the pick block function, it gives you the seed, which is fun as well. Like down the bottom in the inventory, gives you the seeds for them. Interesting change. Yeah, I don't know whether I prefer that or not. Aura Camp... Oh, I already said that one. Campfires are now filled with sticks, which is really good. As opposed to the charcoal, which was a bit of a frustrating one, to be completely honest with you. Therefore, if I have you go in here, grab a stick, yeah, it is now filled with sticks instead. Very nice. It makes getting charcoal a whole bunch easier, to be honest with you. Yeah, and then yeah, campfires are now replace grey resin with concrete in Outpost Ruins, which are good. Stations now fully function while in creative mode, which is very nice for me to have to be able to show things rather than having to switch to survival every time. I do like that a bit, quite a bit, which is nice as well. Yeah, they go fully into that. Always good. Blaster mode will now always fire even at close range. Regardless, it will always fire even at close range to like a block or something like that, which is good as well. I was having trouble with the maglev with that sort of thing, which is good to see that doing that now. Explosions and brace blasts do not move players while in creative mode, which is something I never even realized they did. Which means, actually, if I go over here to the maglev stuff... Oh, God, what the... Did I do that? Or did it break? Oh. Oh, yeah, they now break in one hit, too. That's something they changed. Okay. In creative mode, at least. Yeah. Okay. I don't know. Anyway, there's a marker for when you pass on the minimap now. Let's go over here. Let's switch to settings, game rules, survival. Let's fall, respawn. Where am I? And now you'll see on the minimap there is a marker there where I went, which is very nice because it means you can go back and get your inventory, which is very nice. Yeah, it doesn't say how long it stays up for. Does it stay up the whole time? I have no idea. Yeah, anyway, they added gateway terminal markers to the minimap, as can be seen. You can sort of see it, I think, on there. Or can you only see the aura campfire on here? Yeah, it doesn't look like it shows the gateway terminal one on here, at least, for ones that you make. I don't know. However, apparently there is gateway terminal markers to the minimap. Improved how collectibles interact with water. I don't actually know how they interacted with water before. However, apparently they interact better with water now. I don't know. Anyway, moving on. Whatever, where am I up to? Grass can now be broken, harvested, picked, and scanned, which is simply a fun thing to have. You got the grass here. You can now pick it and all that sort of thing. Harvesting it doesn't actually give you anything. It simply breaks it, which is interesting. Yeah, and long grass will no longer drop collectibles when harvested, consistent with grass, which is kind of upsetting, to be honest. However, at the same time, like, I'm sure they'll add another way to grow it. Whilst in blaster mode, you always fire the item that you have selected now, which I didn't know was an issue before, to be completely honest. Can I fire grass? Oh my god, I can. Whee! Whee! Oh, only one... Oh yeah, because, yeah, plants can only... Yeah, okay, that's something later to talk about. Anyway, yeah, no, that's done as well, which is always fun. Yeah, and I don't know if I went past this or something. Did I go past this? Or is it later? It might be later. Oh, it is later, okay. Anyway, yeah, there's improved visuals, updated clouds and cloud colors. Apparently they look different. I didn't even notice, to be honest with you. Improved UI lighting and rendering for items and elements in the HUD, which is... good. Inventory and creative menus. Improved reflections on shiny surfaces, which has definitely been apparent for some things. Right now I don't have a shiny surface around me. I have like... actually, I have that gold. The gold. Apparently, yeah, the reflections have been updated for it. They look nice. Night blooms and some plants now sway in the wind. Oh, you can't add night blooms yet, which is kind of upsetting and frustrating. However, if I go over to a night bloom, yeah, they now sway in the wind, which is good. The world curvature now adjusts depending on the player's position in the world, which I'm not 100% sure what that means. I think it gets more curved as you go up, basically, is the idea. Kind of like it does in real life. It looks more curved anyway. Improvements to rendering water and semi-transparent surfaces, which I would say definitely is the case. It looks really nice now. Adjusted game feel and visuals when firing Night Bloom Thorn using blaster mode, which I didn't do anything for. Where's the Night Bloom Thorn? I can't even remember what it looks like. Oh, it's like straight first on now. Oh, okay. And then there's like a trailer on the back of it. That's neat. I do like that. Updated mobs. Improved mob spawn behavior and pathfinding, which hopefully helps some of the Kiwis. And then some Night Blooms now track the player with their heads. I'm not 100% sure what this looks like, actually. I haven't really tried it. Let's go to nighttime and switch to survival. And then I need to get out of peaceful, don't I? There we go, normal. Hello. Are you going to follow me with your head? I don't know. The Night Blooms look really good though, don't they? I really like how they look. Anyway, I switch back to creative and then bring it back to day. Good. And then some items have been updated, and that's where I was talking about before with the buttons and the switches. That's where I was up to. Okay, over here. The switches can now be placed on the floors and ceilings, which is very nice, and of course it is the same for buttons. Yeah, very good. Aura torches and switches now attached to surfaces when fired from the blaster. I have things here. There we go. Let's fire. They now attach to surfaces, as do switches, which is neat, to be honest. Yeah, aura torches and switches can now be placed directly in front of the player, either at their feet or the surface they're facing, which is very nice, being able to put it straight on the block that you're on. I do like that a lot. Aura torches can now be placed on diagonal surfaces. Now, I'm not 100% sure what this means, because, like, you can't place it on something like this, like, for example. However, you can place it on, like, I think what it sort of means is, like, you can place it on there now, as opposed to not being able to do it before, which is a good change. However, I was kind of wishing we could be able to place it on here. They've already got, like, the torch sideways, like, view in the game. I mean, they could do that on these, right? Anyway, no, that is a positive, though, regardless. Mag Shell and Skimmer Shells now instantly break when the bracer blasted whilst in creative mode, dropping no loot, like I showed before. Updated plants and decor. I mean, yeah, everything looks nicer, to be honest. Updated plant placement rules. Yeah, they can sort of only be placed, like, plants can now only be placed on flat top side of an element, which is what was having problems with before. Makes sense. I didn't know they couldn't before, to be honest. Plants can now only be placed on appropriate elements in survival mode. I didn't know you could place plants on other things. Maybe you could place them on stone and stuff. I didn't even know. Yeah, apparently they can now be placed on appropriate elements in survival mode. Non-aquatic plants cannot be placed underwater in survival mode, which makes sense. All aquatic plants now available in creative inventory, which is very nice. You have the lemon pod stuff here, and then like all the stuff that goes underwater. All aquatic plants can now be placed, picked, and scanned, which is always good. Let's have a look under here. Boom, boom, boom. There we go. Easy. Can't put it on land though. And then the outcome of breaking versus harvesting a plant is now more consistent, except for grass. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. I think some plants like broke and some plants didn't. Yeah, makes sense. Improved user interface, the user experience in general. Improve the hitboxes for stations and decorations that you can interact with elements behind or below them. That's good. Expanded multiplayer host settings, I wouldn't know. Added show name tags option, again I wouldn't know. Added player versus player option, I mean these all make sense to have. I haven't played with anyone though. Added a notification when the host changes game settings, which makes sense as well. Updated the tutorial world seed. I haven't had a look at it over here. Players will now be notified when their aura campfire is destroyed, which is a very good change, to be honest. And now let's go through some of the bug fixes. All collectibles now appear at similar sizes when dropped, which makes sense. Improved game performance when underwater. I didn't know there was a bit of an issue. However, apparently it was. Unless it means my glitchy thing. Is there something I can try that on? If I go like that. I don't know. I can't tell. However, hopefully that fixed the issue I've been having in my world. Anyway, player health in survival is now maintained when switching between modes, which, yeah, that makes sense, I guess. Fixed multiple issues when reloading into a world last used in third-person view. I didn't know that was an issue. The camera no longer snaps to first person for a second on load. The camera now correctly stays locked to the player when reloaded. Stalax and boom shrooms now correctly drown when in water, which I didn't know they didn't do before. Kibi alerted sound effect now plays consistently. Doors are now destroyed by explosions even while being used. Water levels now remain consistent even when viewed from a high location. Elements adjacent to water can now be destroyed while holding a skimmer shell. Elements underwater can now be broken even when the player is holding a mag shell, which is, I mean, that was interesting that I couldn't before. Wild names containing brackets now copy correctly. The bracer blast visual effects now always displays from the correct location, which was good. Boom blocks fired from the blaster mode into water now correctly sync. Players can now attack each other in third-person view if they are close to one another. I didn't know that wasn't a thing before. Well, auto-placing sound effects now remains at a consistent volume while moving and turning. Again, I didn't know that was an issue. Mobs can now be targeted through 3 elements in third-person view, which, I mean, I guess makes sense. It probably helps a lot at least. Yeah. I never sort of really thought about it. Collectibles can now be collected even in the same space as a passed-on player, which I didn't know was a thing. Denial sound effects now only plays once while placing water in an invalid location. Game performance is now stable when rapidly breaking elements. Again, I didn't notice any problem before, however, people must have. Using the column mining tool on elements above a sculpted element will not cause the sculpted element to break. Now, what does that necessarily mean? Will not cause the sculpted element. On elements above the sculpted element will not cause the sculpted element to break. I think that simply means like, say, let's have a look here. Yeah, it won't let me like do it there. Is there any way I can, let's go down here for a second. That will like do the whole thing now instead of small ones. I'm not 100% sure what that means, to be completely honest. Yeah, I don't know. Apparently it will do what I said. Yeah. Anyway, okay, moving on. Where am I up to? Storage crates no longer clip through sculpted elements, which I didn't even notice they did. Game tags now appear in full during online games. Cosmetic fish now do not get stuck swimming in a circle. I didn't even notice they did that. That's funny. The healing sound effects does not play when the player respawns. Bodies of water no longer flash when the player is moving around the world. That is something I had a bit of an issue with. Fixed a freezing issue where pressing select and back inputs simultaneously on the pause menu. I didn't even know that happened. Stations can now be lit even if they had previously been a lit station in that space. Apparently they couldn't do that before. Aura containers now consistently display the correct amount of aura. I didn't know they messed up before either. Day scavengers can now cannot destroy skimmer shells and mag shells if they fall onto them. That's interesting that they could do that before. Mag shells no longer stop abruptly on corners when moving at high speed. Thank you very much. It is now possible to place elements on mobs. I haven't tried this yet. Where's a mob? You. Hello. Not Kiwis, apparently. Hello, anybody? Anybody down here? No skimmers, no skimmers in general. Hello. Did I place it on you? Oh. Well, I don't know what it means. Okay. Oh no, it's now not possible to place it. Seriously? That was something you could do before? Okay. I didn't read that right. Of course I didn't. Auto placing seeds will now stop when there is not a suitable location to plant seeds. Mariners will not get stuck on ice. I didn't know they did. Scavengers now fly correctly into their portals when despawning. Attacking another player in survival mode will now apply an appropriate level of knockback. Fixed audio cutting out in large online games. Scavengers no longer slide on the ground when dazed. Unread guide tab badges now correctly disappear when all entries have been read, which is a nice thing. Day scavengers now drown in water instantly, which is interesting as well. The animation for putting away a canister no longer plays when using blaster mode to fire a canister in survival, which is good. And head bobbing has been increased in first-person camera view. Intensity has been increased in first-person camera view. Yeah! A whole bunch of changes, basically. I can't believe I spent 30 minutes doing this. Yeah, a whole bunch of things have been changed and added, and it's very exciting. I really like how everything looks now, for the most part. As I said, there is some wood that I'm not the biggest fan of, looking at you, sapwood. Otherwise, though, I think all the other woods look fine. I think that one's simply a little bit over-complicated, and I think it looks a little bit messy. Even like if you look at the back here, you can tell like, oh yeah, that's this wood, and this wood. That looks like little squares. Yeah, I think that one's probably a little bit messy. Otherwise, though, everything else I think looks absolutely fantastic. I am very excited to see what my world looks like in this. I haven't looked yet. I'm waiting to do that in the Let's Play. I mean, the next episode won't be me doing that either because I recorded it a week ago. However, the episode after that will be me looking at it looking at it for the first time in the new look. And I'm very excited. I'm as well kind of concerned to see how much it's changed my buildings, how much I will have to change to fix it. For the most part, though, I think it should all be fine. Most things look pretty good, to be honest. Therefore, yeah. And then all the new blocks, the tiles, the gate. That is an amazing new feature, the gateway terminal. I'm very excited to put that in my Let's Play world. That's what I'm going to be doing straight away once I record the next episode for that. Otherwise, though, yeah, I hope everybody enjoyed this video. Thank you for watching, and I shall be back in the next one. Cheers, everyone.